What's up?
What's up? And welcome to episode 11 of the Hoop Not Vlog podcast. Whether you're listening to us on iTunes, watching us on the website, or on YouTube, thank you very much for patronizing our little passion project here. By the way, I'd like to say congratulations to Rolly Mendoza, who appeared on TV a few nights ago. Very.
Kala ko naman ko.
Ano nyo to on the score? Ang latest na exclusive talent ng ABS-CBN.
Siya kaya yun. Just along with the ride.
May love team na nga daw. Patay tayo dyan.
Alright. Back to basketball.
Alright. Okay. Let's talk about the defending champion San Antonio Spurs, who are
not defending
have been dethroned.
They have been dethroned.
Already. Wala na. Talo na sila eh. Ano ba nangyari?
Ko alam.
Ako I picked Spurs in 7. Ikaw, you picked
Spurs in 6.
Ano ba yan?
Well,
what happened, man?
I think...
By the way, Anton Rojas, very happy. He picked the Clippers to win the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
As in, the whole thing. Title, ha? Tingnan natin yan, Anton.
I think the main thing was Blake Griffin came to play and dominated. Okay? Pwede ko nga
Triple-double.
Yeah, he had 2 back-to-back, actually. I think, sorry, not 2. Isa lang pala. But in that series, he had either a double-double or triple-double the whole 7 games.
He was awesome.
He was awesome, diba? Pwede kong argue na Clippers could have also won earlier kasi Blake gave away game 2 in his turnover. Yung dribble siya, tapos nakagaw. Lamang sila nun eh.
Oo, tapos yung kay DeAndre pa na,
diba? So parang
panalo sila in 5 games.
Oo nga, parang mas marami pa dapat sana. So, I guess, my mistake is I underestimated the impact that Blake Griffin could bring. Because I also looked at how he was injured.
I don't think anybody expected Griffin to be this good, this dominant in the playoffs. Especially after a season where most of his numbers actually went down a little bit.
Yeah, he wasn't dominant as well.
People were thinking, okay, he had a better season last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we can expect as much from him in the playoffs. But now, oh my God, he's maybe... one of the top 3 players in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I think he's the
Steph,
best part.
You have LeBron, and you have Blake Griffin.
So pretty much, Griffin kept them in the game to allow CP3 to take over in Game 7. Okay?
CP3, wow, hamstring injury and all, just chucking it, just chugging like a veteran should. So props to those 2 guys. Ang worry ko lang sa Clippers is how far can they go with such a shallow bench?
The bench is...
I mean, Austin Rivers had his moments, but as you can see now, if you're watching Game 2 against Houston, he's not a guy you can rely on a nightly basis. Diba? That's just not Austin Rivers. I'm sorry, Doc, but your son is just not someone you can put the ball in his hands and say, take over, be in control every game. That's not going to happen with Austin Rivers. Sadly. So I'm a little iffy on their chances to move as far as the finals or even conference finals. We'll see. Against Houston, do you think the Clippers have the advantage? They won Game 1 on the road, and as of this, as of our ano ba tawag dito ngayon? Sino ba lamang? Lamang ang Clippers pa rin ngayon eh. As of this recording. Sa fourth quarter, ayan.
Actually, in any case, matalo ang Clippers.
Manalo o matalo.
Assuming that pwede na si Chris Paul Game 3 and Game 4, Clippers should definitely have the advantage.
So you're picking the Clippers to win this series?
Absolutely. I think relatively in a good 6 games.
6 games. Yeah. Ako, honestly, if Chris Paul were back, and judging by how the Rockets have been playing, I'm picking the Clippers in 5.
5 games. Sige, give them 1 game maybe tonight.
I'm picking the Clippers
maybe game 2.
In 5 games. I don't want to jinx anybody.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do.
In any case, Clippers should win this series. Should.
Yeah, I think they're the favorites to win against Houston. I think... Do you think that Steph Curry being named MVP... Congratulations, Chef Curry.
Chef Curry.
You did the real cooking. Do you think that got to the head of James Harden? A little bit.
Pwede. Actually, James Harden had a relatively poor performance in Game 1. I think
Very poor performance, I think.
9 turnovers.
Yeah.
to go with his 12 assists. So parang plus 3 ka lang. Not very good, especially if you're you're the number one ball handler, number one usage rate.
Not very good if you're an MVP candidate.
Yeah, so maybe it went to his head. At the same time, in first place votes, there was a very big discrepancy in my opinion. Okay?
So maybe that got into his head, it messed him up a little bit. But again, the challenge for Harden is to transcend from, kasi nagawa na niya from a good player to a great player. A great player to an MVP type of player.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he has to be a winner.
Yes.
And that's the transcendence na hindi pa niya nagagawa. Yung jump na hindi pa nagagawa ni Harden. So hindi ko alam kung magagawa niya yun this season. No? So far against the Clippers, parang as of this recording, parang hindi pa niya nag-prove.
Di pa, kulang pa nga eh. I don't know. I'm sure it's not with lack of confidence. It's just maybe the system, other factors. Hopefully we'll see it.
He needs that next gear.
Mm-hmm. Tama yan.
He can go up that gear and just turn it up and carry this Houston team in the playoffs. Because definitely Dwight Howard, hindi na siya yung ganung player.
No.
He can't carry a team on his shoulders anymore. Josh Smith has never been that kind of player.
Oh boy.
Okay. So it has to be James Harden to do that. And I don't think it's going to be this year. So Clippers in 5 for me. Clippers in 6 for Rolly. How about the other Western matchup? Ito medyo nagulat ako na Memphis won game 2 over Golden State. Golden State was so dominant in the first game.
Yeah.
They had the MVP ceremony right before game 2.
Mm-hmm.
So they should have been pumped. They haven't lost in the Oracle Arena since January.
Yeah, they had
early
a
January.
21 game win streak.
So they were supposed to win that game 2, but Memphis with the man in the plastic mask, face messed up.
The
Mike Conley just just doing a great job. I think he hit like his first 15, 20 shots or something. I don't know, exaggerating, but he did really well.
He made some clutch shots in the fourth that gave them the separation that they needed. Okay.
Do you think Memphis can actually push Golden State? Or do you think Memphis actually has a shot of beating Golden State in 7 games?
Maybe they can get one more game. But I'm not quite ready to say that they can upset the Warriors.
Yeah, me too. I think it's Golden State in 6. I think Memphis wins one at home, and I think that's it.
Okay. The problem naman kasi is I think people forget that the Warriors are also a decent defensive team.
One of the best defensive teams.
They should be in the top 5, no doubt. So they have very good center, Andrew Bogut, good solid anchor. He can hold his own defensively, defensively, not offensively against Gasol. And sometimes they put him too on Zach Randolph, okay? And your other very good defensive forward who can guard the perimeter and even the low block, Draymond Green. So talagang, it's just maybe a bad shooting night from Steph Curry. Rarely.
Klay Thompson also.
Rarely happens. Klay Thompson rarely happens. It happening twice in the same series, pwede, pero 3 times?
I don't think so.
Even 4 times para matalo? I don't think so. Okay?
Not at this level yet.
Not at this level, exactly. And I don't think any of them are hurt, so expect both of those to bounce back in Game 3. At the same time, it's good for the Warriors to feel some adversity. Parang sila nagkukos, hindi sa isip na, ang dali pala nito.
Yeah.
It's good to have your loss this early. At the same time, you can see how much mental toughness these guys actually have.
I don't think in my lifetime I've seen the Warriors be the number 1 seed in the playoffs. I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
Even during the Chris Webber, Chris Smalling thing, Hardaway days, kung maalala niya, they're number 1 seed sila. So they're in a very unfamiliar position right now. They're the number 1 seed. They're coming off a loss at home, heading into the grindhouse for the next 2 games. It's going to be a tough order for Golden State, but I'm confident they can pull out 1 win in the next 2 games.
Yeah, definitely.
Come back home tied 2-2 with the next win game 5, win game 6. Move on to the next series against the Clippers. Which should be fun. Golden State Clippers. Oh my God!
Just
that should be
naalala mo,
awesome.
ang ganda nun last year, yung Clippers and Warriors last year. 7 games yun.
That's going to be awesome.
So we'll see.
Alright, heading over to the Eastern Conference. Let's talk about the most exciting matchup so far. Atlanta, Washington.
Uy, huwag kang ganyan,
Most star-studded. Pinaka, hinihintay na panoorin. Hashtag DC Rising. Hashtag Kakao! Tingnan mo dyan. Kasi Washington was very impressive in Game 1. Despite the injury to Bradley Beal, despite the injury to John
Wall.
Wall, they came back, they played, they won that game quite convincingly. And then game 2 comes along, Wall's out, Hawks win, but they didn't really blow out, the Wizards that much. Wizards still stayed in the game. Who's your favorite here? Hawks, Wizards? Ako, Wizards ako dito.
Ako naman,
Wizards
Wizards,
in, 6.
but meron akong if, depending on the health of John Wall. Okay?
Ang taba ng wrist niya, no?
Laki, no? Sobrang sore. At least, for now, we know it's sore. It's not broken. Wala naman strain. So, baka pasalan talaga. And hopefully, with the next game, he plays. If he doesn't play, then look for the Hawks to, of course, take advantage and just might win the series. Kasi sila naman yung favor, di ba? At the same time, you're losing Wall, who is leading the NBA in assists in the playoffs. He's had, I think, almost a double-double each game.
Yeah.
He gets even a block or two. Block pa siya ngayon. He's been playing very good defense. He's making his mid-range shots. So, malaki talagang factor pag nawala yung 12 assists.
Oh, naman.
Oh, so,
and his, the pace is different for Washington with Wall in the game, definitely. And I'm picking Washington because I think this is the kind of series that will really make us see if Atlanta has that extra gear.
Yeah.
I don't think they do, but if they manage to beat Washington here, I'll be convinced that may fifth gear pa, may sixth gear pa ata ang Atlanta that they can lean on in the playoffs. No? But I don't think they have that, so I think Washington's going to take this in 6 games.
So at the same time, if you look at it, if the game is close, who can we say na talagang go-to guy ng Atlanta? Who is ready to take...
Denari Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll is...
Denny Schroeder.
Kung naglalaro siya. Pero si Carroll, he's leading them in points sa playoffs. This guy is a very good defender, pero...
He's gonna get paid this free agent season.
To have him lead your team...
Paid!
Na may Horford, Millsap, Korver, tsaka Teague. Parang sabihin ng iba, that's a good thing that scoring is balanced. But at the same time, are you confident?
Only if you're the Spurs, baby.
Are you confident enough to say, now, okay, DeMar, take the last shot? Or are we gonna just go for, okay, let's pass the ball around, ball movement, let's look for the best shot? Pwede, pero at the same time, the playoffs is where your stars are supposed to produce.
This is going to be the big test for our coach of the year. See Coach Budenholzer. If he can out-coach Randy Whitman or just coach the Hawks into winning 3 more games.
I'm sure he can out-coach him.
Wow.
But can his players execute?
Yeah, that's a big question. Okay, so ano ba? Washington, Atlanta?
Washington ako. I'll go
in.
I'll go 6 na.
Alright. Next one. Naku, ito talaga.
Mahirap
man, this is a tough match. I might go these teams. The Bulls, the Cavs. Bulls win game 1. Cavs just won game 2. Rose had a very, very good performance in game 1.
Game
now
2.
LeBron dropping a 33-point masterpiece in game 2. Oh my God, what a series it's going to be. It's down to a best of 5. What do you think?
Okay, sige. I said this before na if we're looking at, since wala si Love, he averaged about 18 and 9 sa playoffs before he went out. Somebody has to take up the scoring and the rebounding.
Iman Shumpert!
Diba? Shumpert, 3 straight games, double figures. First time in the whole year.
Boom!
So, in step up siya. Game 3, balik na si J.R. Smith, regardless if he starts or comes off the bench.
Is that a good thing, J.R. Smith?
Pwede. I mean, nakakachamba ng mga 10 points yung kaya. He can also play...
Do you think Cleveland plays small with Thompson at the 5, LeBron at the 4, yeah, Iman, J.R. at the wings, and then Kyrie?
It could, but in game 1 that didn't work so well. Game 2, they played LeBron more at the 3, his natural position, and panalo sila. So, moving forward, maybe more of the 3 pa rin para kay LeBron because it's better for him if he plays from the perimeter.
Mas mapagod ata siya pag ang binabantayan niya, yung mga malalaki.
Oo, talaga.
Ang bigat at ang laki ng Chicago eh. So, Gibson lang.
Pero tingnan mo ito, diba? He played in the post or at least closer to the rim game 1, mas marami siyang rebounds, less points. Ngayon, more in the perimeter, more points, less boards, panalo sila. So, judging with that, kailangan dun ka sa nag-work, di ba? Bobo naman ni Coach Blatt kung suddenly he just plays LeBron again at the 4 after he just won.
But I think they'll adjust definitely. The Bulls will adjust to that. I'm not sure if they're going to put someone else on LeBron, if they're going to go small also to force LeBron to play 4. I don't know how that's going to happen. But I'm happy at least Derrick Rose is playing relatively well in the whole stretch of the playoffs so far. He had a couple of games against Milwaukee where he was just unbelievable. In Game 1 against Cleveland, he played like MVP Derrick Rose again. Yeah. So I'm just happy for the guy that, even if he has that shoulder thing that he needs.
Stinger.
He's still doing really well for Chicago. And I think that will give us maybe potentially one of the most memorable series we're going to have in recent memory. This Chicago-Cleveland series, which will be won by...
Ikaw na.
Ayun ka naman. Ako na nga. Sige. Oh, God. Chicago in 7, I think.
Chicago in 7. Bagay, the 7.
I think eventually the size will just weigh down on LeBron and Mozgov and Thompson.
Road win yan, ha? Pag 7 sa Chicago.
Yes, it's going to be a road win.
As for me, I'm going the other way. Cavs in 7.
Whoa!
At home. Okay? Kasi ako, my philosophy, when it's a close series, I will side with the best player in the series.
That's a good mindset.
And the best player in the series because, again, this guy...
Best player in the series is James Jones, 17 points in game.
There you go. So here you go. Diba? LeBron, naturally, most of the time, pag game 7, he shows up.
Yeah.
Okay? Pag umabot to, even game 6 pa nga, diba? So, I think he's up for the challenge. Si Blake na niya yung headband niya eh, whatever reason that is.
What is, brand, Adidas ba yung headband na yun?
Inalis niya
kasi champion.
Nike lang. Sabi yung reason niya was he removed it because he wanted to be the same with his teammates. Like,
no!
Weird, hindi ko na gets niya eh. Pero, in any case, he's ready, he's seen...
Ba't pa na sinusuot in the first place?
Para sa pawis to hide his hairline.
Ay, grabe!
In any case, basta, it's hard to bet against MVP version LeBron.
Yeah, definitely.
At home then.
Ito na lang. Last parting question. Who wins this series wins the East? Yes or no?
Who wins the...
Whoever wins this series wins the East.
Sige.
Yes or no?
I will agree. Okay,
so
I will agree. I will be it's a yes.
So basically for you, Cleveland wins the East.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Chicago wins the East.
So ganun. So I mean, regardless kung Atlanta or Wizards kalaban nila, I think the 2 and the 3 seeds kaya nila yan.
Alright. What do you think about the NBA playoffs so far? Do you think the Dubs will dispose of Memphis quickly? Do you think the Clippers really will make the Western Conference Finals and maybe even beyond that? Do you think the Cleveland Cavaliers have what it takes to beat the Bulls? And do you think whoever wins that series wins the East? Hit us up on Twitter. Our handles are right there. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook and all that jazz. Subscribe to us on YouTube as well. Thank you very much. Keep watching the NBA playoffs and basketball.
Enjoy.
See you guys next week.
Out.